everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that you are greatly appreciated. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why the $900 billion stimulus plan that is now law because the president finally signed it is simply not going to be enough for the next administration. There is a lot of work that needs to be done. There are individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality who have been significantly impacted. Even now, there are almost 20 million of our fellow Americans who are unemployed. Long-term unemployment, in other words, individuals who've been unemployed for several months, is on the rise. Individuals are actually dropping out of the labor force. The labor force participation rate is declining. Individuals simply don't have jobs to go back to. And also, if you do have a job to go back to, there's a high chance that your hours have been cut. It is simply a horrific situation. Hunger is on the rise, and there are a lot of things going on which would necessitate more stimulus. But the political gridlock is going to be another major challenge. Keep in mind that regardless of what happens in the Georgia Senate runoff races, let's say the Democrats go back and get those two seats. We're at 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans, or the Republicans retain control of the Senate. We still have a very divided country. In fact, we're so divided that we're not even sure if everyone will get on board for future stimulus, which is why I think that there needs to be some sort of a consensus as quickly as possible in Washington. But again, a lot of it will depend on the Georgia Senate runoff races. You'll see this article on your screen that was published in the New York Times. The headline of the article reads, $900 billion won't carry Biden very far. Despite new pandemic aid, which is a new package, he confronts an economic crisis unlike any since he last entered office in 2009. And political headwinds have only stiffened, which means that the division between the Democrats and the Republicans is higher than it has been for a long time. Now, keep in mind, President-elect Biden has said that this $900 billion package was a down payment, and he does want a larger package. In fact, he's even talked about stimulus checks being a negotiating point for future discussions, but a lot of it again hinges on control of the United States Senate. We have two major problems right now. The number one problem is unemployment is still high. More than 19 million of our fellow Americans are still receiving some form of unemployment benefits. They are highly dependent on the PEUA program and the PEUC program. These two programs collectively are helping more than 12 million out of the 19 million individuals who are dependent on unemployment. More individuals are experiencing hunger for the first time ever. Moms have been more affected, women have been more affected, African American and Hispanic individuals have been more impacted. This is just a horrific situation that has affected those amongst us who are the most vulnerable, specifically individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality. Another thing that could be holding back the full economic recovery is the bottlenecks in the distribution of the vaccine. There have been a lot of reports emerging that although we have a vaccine, the distribution, the rollout hasn't been as rapid as we would have liked. So I can tell you that the faster the vaccine rolls out, the more likely it is that we will get back on track economically and businesses will reopen and things will be able to get back on track this year. Now, there is one thing that is completely different about this recession versus the Great Recession in 2009. In 2009, 401ks, the stock market, a lot of savings essentially evaporated almost overnight. A lot of 401ks were wiped out by 40%, 50%. I remember that because I had a lot of individuals talking to me. But now, individuals have now started to save money. The savings rate in the United States of America is the highest it has ever been for 40 years. Here's a quote on your screen from Jason Furman, who was part of President Obama's Council on Economic Advisors. He's now an economist at Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. He said, walking in this time, there is at least a cushion. In other words, a lot of individuals do have some savings because they've been able to take their savings from the past. They've been able to take whatever money they got from the government, the $600 booster way back several months ago. Now the $300 booster, the stimulus checks. Individuals have some money set aside relative to the Great Recession in 2009. And many economists believe that more and more stimulus is definitely required. Here's a quote on your screen from Joseph Stiglitz, who's a Nobel Prize-winning economist. He said, the failure to extend or expand federal aid when it expires this spring, meaning the middle of March, will not only cause significant hardships and needless suffering, but could seriously scar the economy. In other words, more and more economists are saying that more help is needed to get us past March. not only because of the slow rollout of the vaccine, not only because some individuals or some sectors have been impacted more than others, but simply this whole pandemic has lasted way longer than any of us expected. Remember, the CARES Act, which was passed in March last year, was designed to provide that stimulus up until the end of July, because Congress was like, we'll reevaluate in July. But this has lasted, at this point in time, going on close to a year. We're getting close to a year. We've been in the middle of this pandemic for 9 straight months, and the suffering still continues. Although, by and large, the economy does seem to be getting back on track. Now, here's something else that's important. A lot of economists believe that aid for state and local governments, so that state and local governments can take care of their residents, so that they can continue to pay out unemployment benefits, so that they can maintain essential services at the state level. A lot of economists believe that aid to state and local governments is extremely important. Now, keep in mind, when we talk about the distribution of the vaccine, it's not the federal government that's sending out the army to, come to your home, knock on your door, and give you a vaccine. The distribution of the vaccine in your town, in your city, in your state is a function of your state. So, in other words, your state is responsible for the distribution of the vaccine where you live. And that's not all. States also provide emergency medical personnel. States are responsible for schools. States are responsible for making sure our children get educated. States will send teachers back to the classrooms, will send students back to the classrooms, will create local guidelines. And a lot of students who are getting left behind from an intellectual standpoint, from an education standpoint, from a nutrition standpoint, a lot of those programs come from states. So states need assistance. And here's something that's very important, and I'll leave you with this thought. Some businesses simply are not meant to survive. Now, I know this is not a very politically correct statement, but some businesses are simply not meant to survive, and some businesses essentially have to adapt themselves for the new post-pandemic world. And I'm not the only one who says this. On your screen, you'll see a quote from Michael Strain. He's an economist at the conservative American Enterprise Institute, and for him, the economy has repaired itself more quickly than expected. He worries that some aid proposals, particularly those that prop up specific industries that are on their way out, if you will, would keep dying businesses alive, and in his words, I quote, slow down the process of adjustment to a new post-virus economy. This is a comment from Michael Strain. The faster that process happens, the faster the economy heals. And then on the other hand, you have individuals who want a large, massive economic rescue package, which is essentially the Democrats' position, which is what President-elect Biden wants also. Here's a quote from Brian Deese, who has been picked by President-elect Biden to lead the National Economic Council, where he worked as an assistant during the Obama administration. He said that making public investments is necessary to ensure economic growth. Here's a quote from Brian Deese. We're in a moment where the risk of doing too little outweighs the risk of doing too much. Let me know whether you think we need another stimulus package. Do you think we need a third stimulus package? I believe that for individuals who've been impacted the worst, who've been impacted the most, the answer to that question is yes. I believe that not everyone needs a third stimulus package. The more targeted it can be, the better. The unfortunate part is Congress spent 6 months just haggling, playing games. Again, you'll see this chessboard on your screen that you've seen me bring up before. Everyone's playing a game of chess. Everyone has different priorities, and all of them are making moves depending on what they want the outcome to be. House Speaker Pelosi wants to remain Speaker of the House, which she is. She was just re-elected the Speaker of the House. She wants the Democrats to remain in control of the House. Chuck Schumer wants the Democrats to regain control of the Senate. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell wants to retain control of the Senate. And President Trump, well, we know what President Trump wants. He essentially wants to continue to challenge the election. So all of these things play a role. But let me know in the comment section below, do you believe A, we will see a third stimulus package and the $900 billion is not enough? And B, what should that package look like? Let me know in the comment section below. One thing is clear. A lot of economists believe that we should see more stimulus because this is not yet behind us. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I really appreciate you. I work hard on this channel to bring you the latest news, to bring you the most current news, and to bring you news that's going to help you understand the way the country works, the way the economy is changing, and most importantly, how it impacts your money. Again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. This right here is some information about me. Click on that little exclamation mark on the top right hand side of the video so you can learn a little bit more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I want us to be calm. I want us to be peaceful. I know the $600 that we've got isn't making any of us celebrate, right? See, I don't think you're celebrating for $600, but let's be clear. What's happening in the country is important for us to understand, because I think things are changing in real time. We are in a very fluid political environment, we are in a very fluid economy, and I want to help you make sense of it. Remember, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. If you want to get on our SMS alerts list, simply get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or the word time. Send that in a text message to the number 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list moving forward. You can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list going forward. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time going forward. Stay in touch with us by getting on our SMS or email list. Now, you can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Now, YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. So all you need to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to visit the home page of our channel. And then you'll be able to check out our videos at any point in time that you want. We have many playlists on our channel. We have a playlist on politics. We have a playlist on announcements from the administration. We have a playlist on economic recovery alerts. We have a playlist on stimulus proposals, a playlist on unemployment benefits, a playlist on financial freedom, and also managing your money, not to mention new career opportunities. So make sure you check out all of those playlists, because there's a wealth of information available to you on the Ignition Time channel. Now, one thing we always do is that we include the link to all of our resources in the description section below. So check out the description section below to get a link to all of our resources. If you learned something new from our video, please comment below, participate and engage with our community. And also keep in mind that all I ask from you is you please click the like button, please ignite the like button, please ignite the subscribe button, because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. A like from you would mean a lot to me. I would really appreciate it. I'll show you I'll dance again if I have to, just so that I can earn that like. There you go. I'll dance if I have to earn the like. All I ask is that you please click the like button. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, please share this video with just 2 friends or family members, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time.